Okay, it's Indiana primary day, and which Republican candidate is slated to win Indiana? Well, this time around, it depends on which poll you believe. An NBC Wall Street Journal Marist poll has Donald Trump up by double digits, 15 points. But a poll from Mike Downs, Center for Indiana Politics, something to do with Purdue, too, has Ted Cruz cruising to a 15-point lead. What are we to believe? There's only one man to turn to, the doctor who fixes everything, Dr. Larry Sabato, director of the University of Virginia Center for Politics. Larry, what do we believe?
Well, good morning, Brian. You know, there are a lot of fly-by-night polling organizations out there. There's one I want to warn people about. It's called the Steve Doocy Breakfast Diner poll. That one should ignore that one completely.
Right.
The guy biases people by taking bacon off their plate and that kind of thing.
Right.
But look, as to the serious question you've asked, the truth is you never really put all your stock in one poll. Even if you really like the news organization or you like the person conducting it, you use polling averages. Go, for example, to the Real Clear Politics website. It's easy to use, easy to read, and just look up the polling average for the Indiana primary, and you will see, as they average together all the polls that have been taken from all these different sources and organizations, Trump has a decent-sized lead in Indiana. It's not overwhelming, but it is decent-sized. And so that's a pretty good indication that he'll win. Let me add this. This season, I've seen the polling averages, not just individual polls, be wrong, too. So it's, in a way, it's good to know that everything and everyone is fallible.
Well, good, except, of course, me. Andrew Downs.
Yeah, except you, Brian.
Thank you. If you don't mind, just want to correct the record there. Andrew Downs, who put together the poll that has Ted Cruz winning, joined Steve at the diner and said, this is what went into my polling, why I believe Ted Cruz will take this thing. Let's listen.
There are a couple things to remember. First, in the world of public opinion polling, 1 out of 20 can be wrong, and this might be the one that's wrong. Beyond that, we actually didn't weight the responses. In other words, we don't know who's going to show up. Indiana turnout is usually very low in primaries. This year, we know it's going to be very different. And we don't know who's going to show up. We don't know the percentage of females versus males. So we didn't weight the results. We simply put them out there, and others actually were able to weight the results.
Last night, anything wrong with that science?
Well, he said one thing that was significant, other than the fact that he didn't wait, and we don't have an hour to discuss waiting. But he did say something people should know. For purely statistical purposes only, 1 out of 20 well-conducted polls have results that are outside their own stated margin of error. And that's because, again, you're getting a relatively small sample of human beings in any particular state or locality, and you're projecting those individuals as representing everybody. Well, it's not always easy to do, and things can happen in the process.
All right, so I got to see. It looks like Trump will take tonight, if we believe the trend, because he was trailing by double digits, and now in most polls he's up by about 10. But Donald Trump, what if Donald Trump loses tonight and Cruz walks away with the majority of the 50-plus delegates? What changes?
Well, what changes is the punditocracy of which we're members do not shut down the Republican race. If Trump wins, essentially I think people have decided in all probability the contest is over. If Trump loses and Cruz wins, then this is clearly going to go all the way through the primaries and maybe to the convention, and so we'll have a much longer playing field.
Right. I'm just getting word now. Is this true? We're going back to the diner where you dissed Steve Doocy a short time ago. Steve, the bacon poll was just ridiculed earlier. Do you have a reaction?
First of all, as it turns out, it was beef bacon. And, you know, Larry Sabato can be on TV talking hypothetically about the people in Indiana. He doesn't know Dan.
That's right.
Dan is from Indiana. What do you have to say about Larry Sabato?
Oh, try again.
Wait a second.
Try again.
Wow. Wow, that little confrontational. Even Ted Cruz said, back off a little, Steve. All right. Hey, I'm sorry about that. I have no idea what breaking news. When things come across, Larry, thanks for rolling with that.
No, I'm going to stay above it all. There's no way. If Steve can't, but I'm going to stay above it all.
By the way, over the last 8 months, you were the only person to ever stay above it all. I don't know if you've been watching, but Dr. Larry Sabato, this is the first time anyone's taken the high road in about 10 years. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing that.